Yeah, because Pine is just like expensive now.
When we, like,
$30 or whatever.
after
Bloody.
COVID,
Is the hard drive recording?
I just pressed.
Yeah,
it.
sick.
After COVID, like we built the studio straight after COVID, and the prices of like,
lumber and stuff.
lumber
It's gone down a bit.
Has
since
it? Because
then.
it was crazy. Like
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we went 20, 30K over budget just on like materials. It was, it got out of control. And we built everything with the cheapest shit possible because we didn't have the money and fuck.
It's crazy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing anyway.
Yeah, right, okay.
Fucking, with the money that I'm going to save on cutting plywood,
Yep.
I'm going to easily be able to afford the table saw. It's like, put it this way, it's $40. It's $20 to $40 for a piece of 2.4 long pine in the sizes that I want.
Yeah.
Or I can get a whole sheet of plywood,
Yeah.
like 2.4 by 1.2
and then just
long,
like
and then
spend
just
half
cut
a day just fucking.
Not even. If I have
Yeah.
a table saw, it's like 30 minutes.
Oh, right. And so you're just going to feed it through the saw, of course. And so it's super straight.
Yeah.
Fuck, cool.
Yeah, it's way easier.
Man, sounds like not fun at all.
It's just so much work.
Yeah.
Anyway,
good morning, bro.
here we go. We are the AudioBois Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Mitch Rose.
I'm Mitta.
And yeah, welcome audio people. First up, we just want to thank our main sponsor,
Tommirock.
Tommirock.
Thank you.
Yep. And if you would like to work in this awesome podcast space, you can find it at www.tommirock.com/podcast.
Correct.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Nice. You're getting good at that.
Getting there.
Yeah.
I should be good. I do it on the other channel.
Yeah.
But then I'm in here, I'm like,
Yeah, dude. That's it. Like, as soon,
Yeah.
I got shit to say, and then as soon as I sit down, I'm like,
yeah.
far out,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, this is all harder than it looks.
I'm tired. You tired?
Always tired.
Yeah. You've been building and shit at home. You've been fucking
working
construction.
weekends. And then, you know what's
Yeah.
crazy? I hit Wednesday and I'm like,
Oh, man.
because I haven't stopped on the weekend.
Yeah,
And then I'm like,
yeah.
I should have stopped on the weekend.
I had a couple of those. I worked through Saturday and only had Sunday off, and yeah, it's it can be brutal. Hey,
Yep.
fuck.
Yep.
I've got a lot of things that I want to talk to you about, but what do you want to talk about this
Today,
week?
the big topic was myths and misconceptions in audio, of which there are fucking
Dude.
many, right?
Dude,
like
yeah,
so
it's-
many myths
it's-
and misconceptions.
Yeah. It's such.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where there's like people say there's rules, and then other people say there's no fucking rules. So
Yeah.
like, who do you listen to?
And like, obviously, that is so hard we're working in a creative space. So like, I think my philosophy has always been you learn the rules to then learn how you can break them.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah. I think
because breaking the rules is making shit cool.
Well, yeah, and
know?
like a lot of those rules exist for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, to protect, like, you know, stop you from doing dumb shit. But
Yeah.
like you said, like if you understand why those rules exist,
Yep.
then they're not going to have so much power over you.
Exactly.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I definitely I didn't go to like formal education for audio at all. I went to a performing arts high school. I only have a high school education. That's it.
Unlock your iPhone first.
Shut up, Siri.
Dude,
Put this on silent.
yeah, you're right. But so I only have a nice high school education.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, first big myth and misconception is you need to go to university or you need to study.
Yep.
You need a formal education
Yep.
to do this job.
Yeah.
Which-
Absolutely. I mean, you're walking proof of that.
100%.
Right? So-
That's one thing I always like. I have that conversation a lot with young people that come in. They're like, what's the path? How do I do it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, that's your first problem. Like, there is no one way,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I happen to not go uni. You studied
I've
at
done
AIM.
multiple. Yeah.
You've
I've
done, yeah.
So I left high school, did TAFE.
Yeah.
Then worked in live for many years,
Yep.
but then went back and focused on studio in my 30s. I did my degree, but that was so I could be a teacher.
You did live, and then what was the other one called?
I went to uni after TAFE. So
Yeah,
I
but
did
What were the degrees called?
sound production.
Right.
So they were both
Both of
audio.
them. Yep.
They were both majors in audio.
Yep.
But the uni one was a focus on studio stuff.
Yeah.
As opposed to live production.
Just
because I'd already done it. I didn't need an education in live at that point.
So you've got an interesting experience in that you've done both TAFE and university.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so you can talk a lot about this shit.
And I've worked for TAFE as
Yes,
well.
yes,
I've worked
and
in
you taught-
and I've worked in education for a long time.
And
Long,
you and
long
I
time.
plan to get into our own forms of education in a way, like teaching and doing classes and shit.
Yep. And you take on interns as well.
Yeah. So there are.
And so am I.
Oh man,
that's a whole thing
already. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well. All right. So the first one was you got to have a degree in audio.
Absolute bullshit.
No, absolutely not.
I think this job, whether it be live, studio, whatever, is very much an artisan trade, right? So it's more a master and an apprentice kind of thing. And so it's very important to intern or be mentored, at least mentored by someone who works in the industry.
Yeah.
The problem I've seen in the education side on both ends, both as a student and as a teacher, is that some teachers do not work in the industry, or their what they do in the industry is extremely limited.
Or they've been out for a long time.
Yeah, or have been out for a long time. If you're teaching music production and you haven't made a released record since the 80s or ever, or anything significant, your advice is nothing. Like you've got nothing to offer modern production.
Bro, one thing that always made me...
you have to be a current with
One
this
thing
stuff.
that made me laugh is when I first met you, I was going to you were working at the TAFE, and you were showing me the rooms, and you were talking about how the teachers were teaching kids to set up crossovers on PAs. Maybe it wasn't you, but anyway, I went to the
Me
TAFE.
and Tom might have both been.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So they were talking about how to set up crossovers on analog PAs, and I'm like, what are we doing, guys? Like, isn't everything digital now? Like, which it is. Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm fucking...
crossovers are a thing of the past for live PA systems.
That's what I'm saying.
It's all done
I was just like,
in the speaker now. You just send them full range.
We're living in the 80s here, like, or, you know, I was just a little bit thrown off by some of the approaches by some of the older teachers.
Yes, that is definitely an issue, and I think that's going to be an issue in all education, no matter what country you're in.
Oh, dude, and especially as technology progresses exponentially as it does.
Yes,
those guys are going to get and those guys are going to get left, and they are being left behind very quickly.
Yeah, and the genres of music, like we went from rock for decades to now all types of genres in music.
You have that argument that everything these days is EDM. Like the electronic music, essentially, which I don't think you're that far off.
Yeah, like I was saying it like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, when we met. Yeah.
I was like, everything is produced, like metal is produced like an EDM record, like very much.
Yes.
More even now.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
And like singer-songwriter stuff is, and it's to do with the technology kids have, whatever. But yeah, like it's a whole thing. But
I was setting up, like I was doing a mix before you came, and I was like my side chaining is getting out of control these days to the point where, like, say if like an 80s teacher walked in the room and was like, what are you doing? I'm like, okay, well, right now I'm side chaining the low end of my bass to my kick, but also the low end of my guitars to my bass. And I'm doing like my lead guitars to the high frequencies of my other, you know what I mean? They would just be like, what? Like, did you set your crossovers?
Didn't you have someone in recently that didn't understand amp loading? And stuff like that.
That happens all the time. That happens all the time. Because like everyone's using
it was someone
Sims.
who teaches.
Oh, shit.
We don't have to mention names.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think he was just like an amp. He was just an amp enthusiast, and he didn't understand that you can't have a head plugged into a cab at the same time because he's used to using amp sims and that sort of stuff. Yeah. You can't turn your head on unless there's a load onto it.
Yeah.
Yeah, again.
Crazy.
Yeah, wild.
Like I'm not someone that does that.
Yeah.
But I would know how it works.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? You have to be
100%.
across it.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think it's that thing.
Yeah.
So like, the education has its pros and cons. Like I think it depends on the type of person you are.
That's
as
cool.
well.
Yep.
So like when I left school, leaving high school and went to TAFE, I was not ready to be a good student. Right? I was a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
and shout out to my buddy Paul who studied with me. He'll vouch for this.
Yeah.
I was an ass clown.
Paul who?
Paul Aykroyd.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you met him. We talked about Paul.
No.
I was a fucking ass clown in class. Ass clown? Bro. I was a dickhead. Always talking too much when the teachers are talking. Falling asleep at the back of the room.
Man,
like,
going
all dumb shit.
Going to uni 18 is like young, hey.
Yeah, I was at TAFE then.
Yeah.
But same shit. And then, but then when I went back as a mature age student, I was ready to learn and be good at you know.
Man, one thing I noticed from the guys, the people that were coming out of the formal education system is like their mixes all sounded the same because obviously they're being taught by the same person and taught the same thing. And a lot of them would come out with these rules, you know, and approach their mixes with all these, like the same thing, the same formula, the rules that they've been taught. And one thing I noticed is that their recordings were really clean, clinically correct, really nice. boring as hell, man. Just like,
and I think that's the most common thing, right?
yeah, everything's perfect. Everything, like, when I say perfect as it can be in that situation.
Yep.
But
For them and the level they're at.
I mean, like, if we're looking from a textbook point of view, everything's where it should be. You know, the bass is rolled off nicely, and I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
You know, I listen to it and go, I'm fucking so bored.
I mixed like that for ages.
Yeah, right.
It took me ages to get out of that. Yeah.
I think I'm on the other end of the spectrum where my shit's just wild, and people would listen to it who've had an education and go, fuck is this guy doing? Like, you know, there's distortion on the mix bus and, you know, just like crazy shit, which, I don't know, seems to work for me.
But I think that's also why like reference tracks and that are so important, right? So like 2 of my reference tracks in all my sessions, we were looking at this the other day with Hato in the studio.
Yep.
We'll mix him a track he just did for an upcoming video. Anyway, and basically I always have a Sabrina Carpenter track and then I have this Olivia Rodrigo track.
Yep.
And they're both 2 pop female vocal tracks.
Yes.
Exact polar opposites of the mixing spectrum.
Right.
The Sabrina Carpenter one is super polished, very clean.
What's the song?
Taste.
Yep.
And then
Love that song.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
fuck.
the
Love that song.
Olivia Rodrigo one is the one talking about hooking up with her ex. So
Right,
I should
the
know
really
name.
famous one?
Yeah,
right, yeah.
And it's super distorted, really mono. Real mid focus.
It's rocky, hey.
Yeah. It's like punky,
I actually
rocky.
used Olivia Rodrigo for an artist named Shayla who we started working together years ago, and she had that vibe. It was like an indie pop vibe, but there was definitely elements of rock to it.
Yeah,
That's that Olivia Rodrigo was cool for that.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just to go, how far one way can we go? How far the other way can we go? Do we need to be aiming for in between that?
Yep.
And not get caught up on things sounding clean.
Yes.
Because when you have something that's really dirty and gritty there, you go, I can go harder on this.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really easy to go, I need the vocals to be really crisp.
Yeah.
Or I need the drums to be really like snap through the mix and whatever. And then you listen to a track like that and you're like, fucking, it's all distorted. And it's like, I can go harder.
Yeah. All right, let's
make
leave,
it cool.
Let's leave referencing because that's a whole thing unto itself.
Yeah,
and
for
we
sure,
need to
for
spend
sure,
at
for
least
sure.
10 minutes on that one because I've got heaps of thoughts about that.
Yeah.
But so back to the education thing, like, you obviously don't need a formal education in this business whatsoever. You know what? I like to compare what we do to tattoo artists.
Yes.
Because it's a very similar thing in that it's a mentor-mentee relationship. You don't actually need a piece of paper to be a tattooist, which is that's insane to me that you're allowed to ink someone permanently and everyone's just like, go for it. You know, like there's
Go nuts, bro.
in order to be give someone a needle to be a nurse, I need to jump through 1,000 hoops. But here's a needle, tattoo my face, go for it. You know, like that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Is crazy.
Anyway, so I like that comparison because it's a very artistic, subjective. Job. Right? Like, so my favorite tattoo artist, you might think is shit.
Yeah.
Same goes for mixing engineers.
Yes.
I never walk into a tattoo studio and go, can I see your degree? You know what I mean? Can I see your piece of paper? I go, show me the last thing you did.
Show me your work,
looks great. Let's go. You know, and that's how this job works.
That's a cool one.
Yeah. So I love that expression is that you're only as good as your last release.
Yes.
Man, that's
I couldn't agree with that more.
Yeah. And that one's burnt me in the past because I've gone like, okay, well, I'm this guy. People are only listening to these things that I make. That's not true. They listen to everything you put out and they're most likely judge you on the last thing that you did.
Yeah.
So there's so often, man, I'll like in the past, I don't do this anymore and I'm almost ashamed to say this, but like I might have put less work into other things because I thought that maybe like they were less important because maybe the budget wasn't there or they don't have the following that this band does.
Yeah.
The amount of bands I get from those recordings, you know, where they go, I heard band
This
B.
obscure
Yeah, I heard band B. I've been working on band A forever and putting all my time and effort into it.
Yeah.
And you listen to B and that's what got it.
Yeah.
So, you know, like that's a big one for me in that like consistency.
Yes.
Consistency is key and not treating anything like it's less than anything else.
Yeah. That's fair.
I kind of went on a tangent there, but
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah,
It's all good.
yeah. But, so back to education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All just myths and I think we've kind of covered that one as a kind of myth.
Yeah,
you need education. I just don't think you need it.
No.
But I think if you're a certain type of person and you're ready to be educated, it can be very useful.
Fully.
And there are other parts of the industry, like when I went back as a mature age student, I've told you before, I went and did finance as like electives and like marketing and journalism. I did like some journalism elective so I could learn to write properly.
Wow.
And it was all to cover things that I would maybe have to teach as a teacher, but also that would be very beneficial as someone that's going to have to promote their own business online. So like you got to remember, education it's not, when we talk about education in the music industry, it's not just about the education of learning to play or learning to record. It's learning the whole job, the whole industry.
Learning how the industry works. Yeah.
So education is what you make of it.
Yes.
Very much. If you're not ready, don't do it.
And
if you are ready, go in wholehearted.
100%.
And like study what you think you need to study to be a better
But we've
engineer.
also thrown a blanket over the word education.
Yes.
And that's tricky because I have an issue with formal education. I know you do as well. I do not have any issues with online education. Like courses.
That's a big one.
Courses,
now.
YouTube, things like that. I love
Mixed
that
with the
shit.
Masters,
all of
that
it.
stuff,
I'm a big fan of URM. Like if you're into rock music, you need to check out Ultimate Recording Machine, I think is what it's called. Unstoppable Recording Machine, sorry, URM.
Yep. I used to listen to that back in the day,
I learned a lot from that.
Yep.
And I know people, like, I know that there's a lot of big name mix engineers that still watch them.
Yeah.
Like guys who are currently putting out the best stuff out there.
Yeah.
They still check it just
and
to see
other people in the industry. You know,
but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Just to see how other people are doing things.
Yeah.
I'm really into that.
Yep.
And also you mentioned the intern thing, which in my mind, that's education.
Yeah.
And that is arguably the most valuable one of all of the things.
Yeah. And I think that goes both ways too, because having, like, I used to love, one of the things I love about being a teacher was that your interaction with students would inform you of what's happening in the social zeitgeist.
Totally.
What's happening culturally, musically, and what people are into.
Yep.
So it always kept you tapped in.
Yeah.
And I miss that.
Yeah.
But having interns keeps you in that as well. And it's really, really fucking important to stay current with what's happening in the industry.
Fully.
And interns are an excellent way to be across that still and learn from them. And
have your finger on the pulse a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why I listen to the radio.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is just to be so I know what's going on.
Yeah.
I hate heaps of it.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like it's good to know.
Yeah, I flick it on every now and then, but I struggle with it a lot.
I try and pay attention to the trends in audio, like across
like the production techniques.
Yeah. Especially on it's things like Triple J, like in Australia is the largest alternative music radio station.
Yes.
And so I prefer the alternative stuff. They play a lot of mainstream shit too.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, it's good to know what's going on.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Can I show you a CLA video?
Oh, always.
Yeah, let's do it.
The answer is always yes. If it's CLA, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Wait, it's yes. Show me more CLA.
All right. So this came up in my social media feed the other day, and I laughed and I saved it because it's full of myths and misconceptions. And like CLA is the king of myths and misconceptions. Like, dude, he'll be like, you don't need to do this, or always do this. Like, remember the fucking Tom thing, like the stereo linking your toms, and he's like, you want a stereo link? Enjoy yourself.
Go for
it. I love it that he's so quick to say that there's rules and also say that there's no rules. Like he loves to contradict.
Talking absolute. Absolute.
Absolutely. So there's a bunch in here. This is actually, I think they go over. Well, mixed myth destroyed by CLA. Let's have a look, see what he's going to say.
Destroyed.
Usually, the more mics you add, the more phase you're getting problems with.
That's correct.
That's true.
Think you're being cool by having a mono room mic? Hey, I'm Chris Lord.
Oh,
Do you trigger?
I'm getting riled up.
Yes. Sick. He triggered the fuck out of me, man.
Not even just that. It's like, you think you're cool?
Yeah.
I think I'm so cool.
You sent me a mono room.
I only do.
You think you're cool?
Next time I set up a mono room mic, I'm going to take a photo of myself like this next to the mono room mic.
Yeah, tag him. Fuck. Holy shit, dude.
Okay, Chris.
The cool guy glasses. Fucking dick. Anyway, sorry.
10 for great, 0 for garbage. Question 1. High pass everything.
0. High pass everything. No. High pass only what's the problem. It's usually just vocals. That's it. You high pass everything.
What do you think of that?
Wrong. Yeah. So wrong.
Yeah.
What we got? This is like what I love about this.
Yeah.
This is exactly evidence that he gets tracks sent to him that are perfect.
Yeah, of course.
The reason why, let's be clear about this, the reason why he doesn't need to high pass anything but vocals is because it's already been done. It's already been done. Come on.
Yeah, so anyone who doesn't know, CLA doesn't do a lot of tracking.
No.
He gets sent stuff by arguably the world's best
tracking engineers.
in
from the best studios.
Yeah.
With hardware gear.
100%.
Like
100%.
We've mentioned this a lot. we have to like separate tracking and mixing.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
kind of put them both together a
Yes,
lot.
yes.
And we've really got to make sure that we break those jobs apart.
Yep.
There's a tracking engineer, especially in the high end
Yep.
where these guys are working. There's a tracking engineer and a mixing engineer. And in his opinion, you got to take it within the context that he is purely
Context.
mixed engineer.
Context is massive.
Yeah.
So we spoke about this.
So for him, that's true, maybe.
Yeah.
But for everyone else in the world,
Yes.
it's fucking nonsense.
And this is what
Yeah.
we spoke about the other day, like
Yeah.
like that when Albini he came to Australia, he did a bunch of these things, and then me and Tom argued for ages because he was just like, oh yeah, Albini came in and was like, you don't need to use compression, like you don't need to treat audio. It's about the song, let the song speak, and you don't need to do anything. I'm like, yeah, maybe you, Albini, you know, like maybe the stuff. Who did I say? Not Albini. It's not Albini. Fuck.
Sheps?
Sheps.
Yeah,
Excuse me. Yeah.
Sheps.
Yeah. Very
Yeah, I
different.
was in those workshops.
Very different. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was saying that stuff, right? Like, hey, you don't need to do shit.
His biggest thing was saying that the arrangement is more
Which
important,
is
which
true,
is true.
which is true.
But he's also the king of parallel compression in that.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
he does do that.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just you just got to be careful in
Yeah.
what people say.
Yeah.
You got to do your research on people
Yeah.
and what they do
Yes.
as much as you research the audio itself.
And fucking this cunt speaks in
techniques.
absolutes.
Yeah.
All the time, you know?
Yeah, different jobs call for different things.
Keep going.
Lose all the richness in the bottom and everything.
Always time align drum overheads with the rest of the drum kit.
You can tap the transient and align the overheads with the snare drum. That's a trick. That may work. The bottom line is you flip the phase in the overheads. If the snare sounds better, go with that way. I would.
Again, if you've been sent the best tracks by the best tracking engineer,
It depends.
you know? Like someone.
Phase is how bad's the phase?
Yeah.
Right. If you've been sent something completely cooked phase wise, then phase alignment might be the only thing that rescues it.
Fully. Dude, I've been sent tracks and I've just used auto align, and at the end of it, I'm like, this is a new recording now.
Yeah.
You know, like because
Yeah.
there were 2 or 3 things out of phase.
Yep.
And like, yes, I could go in and check them one at a time, or I could
Yeah.
just pass them through a plugin that's going to tell me what's
Yeah.
out of phase, and you know.
100%. Those tools exist for a reason.
Yeah.
I've roasted you before
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And like obviously, but then I'm coming from a tracking engineer where I'm doing it.
Yep.
And obviously,
Exactly.
it's best to get it right in tracking.
absolutely it is. Yeah.
Try and get it right in tracking, but plugins are there to save
He
you.
hasn't.
So that's
he hasn't hit the good one yet. I'm
nah.
still waiting.
All right. Oh,
Always mix into bus compression.
10. That's what I do. It works.
depends what it is. Depends what it is. It depends what it is.
Always mix into bus compression.
Always.
10. Oh, fucking hell, dude.
Look, I'll play devil's advocate on that one though. Do you ever not?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Not
And
mix,
also,
so when you're making your so you're saying like start with bus compression, then mix into it?
is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
No,
I do
that-
clean up
Heads, if
first.
the snare sounds better,
Hang
go
on, what is that?
10.
Always
That's-
mix
I would
into
give
bus.
5.
Always mix.
Always mix into bus compression.
Okay, so
He just
I
says,
do
yeah.
I do often mix into bus compression. Always no.
No.
And this is also to do, like this is all based on if you've set your gain staging properly.
Correctly,
You
yeah.
know, like if you put a compressor on and then you're mixing into it, and then all of a sudden you're chucking all this volume into it, and then you check the compressor and it's doing 20 dB. You know what I mean? Like it's
But once again, if we go back to the context of this, right?
Yeah.
He's getting amazing tracks.
Yep.
So and they're already cleaned up.
Yep.
All the high passing's done.
Yes.
Then he can do that.
yeah, and he's also mixing on an SSL, which has a bus compressor on the end.
Yeah.
which everything's going through anyway.
Yes.
you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
and he's
It's a
like he's
different
mixing
process.
on an SSL. It's
Yeah.
a very different thing. I do often. I'll add mixed bus compression when I'm maybe somewhere between 30 and 50% of the way into a mix.
Yeah.
it's like.
That's about right for
Yeah,
me too.
because I like a top down, like a semi top down.
Yes.
Like I
Yeah.
do. The top is very important.
Yep.
And it plays a big role in how the mix works,
Yeah.
interacts together. So you've got to introduce that chain relatively early.
Otherwise, you put it on and then everything goes out.
Yeah. Am I mixing straight into it from the start? No, never.
No.
It's usually about halfway.
Yeah. Yeah.
10. That's what I do.
10.
It works.
Always mix with reference tracks.
Pointless. 0.
fucking wrong. So wrong.
I'm so mad at that one, man.
Yeah.
Like to go from always mixing a mixed bass compression to never use reference tracks.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If you're CLA,
Yeah.
if you're like,
you have your style, you have your sound, but they're paying you to mix your way. But our job,
so mad.
our job can be very different. If you're not CLA, you're often your artist is going, I want this track to sound like this track or this artist or this record or whatever. And so you do absolutely need fucking reference tracks if that's what you're being paid to do.
Oh, dude.
And I actually think I call bullshit on that too.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because do you think an artist ever come to him and said, we want it to sound like this? So then he's using a reference.
Yeah.
So that's nonsense. I find that's nonsense in a way.
Yeah.
Like, I get that you should try to you shouldn't adhere to the reference.
No, you shouldn't. You
But that's
shouldn't
a different
copy
concept,
your
yeah.
mix, like copy someone else's mix. That doesn't work. So referencing we'll get into because I think referencing's a 10.
Yeah.
I hate this so much.
I think it keeps you on track and it gives you fresh perspective when you need it.
Totally. There's a million
And that's why I
reasons
always
why.
have it.
There's a
Yeah,
million
yeah,
reasons why it's great. Like I'm not CLA. I need to reference.
Yep.
So, the only time you ever check a reference track is the rough mix, because you'll have the producer going,
Oh, I've listened to the rough mix like 25 times.
that means you're that means you're in deep shit. So you have to check the rough and make sure that everything they like in there, you've done, and the level of your mix when you send it to them is the same.
Rough is a
So
reference.
Yeah.
5 on that, but no. Reference mix means rough mix, I would say. If you said rough mix, I'd give them 10. Reference means 5.
Mic placement matters more than mic choice.
That's probably 3.
Mic placement matters more than mic choice. He said 3. I would go the other way around. You? I think the mic
Placement matters more than anything.
mic placement matters.
Matters more than mic
You're
choice.
saying that the mic choice is more important than the placement of it?
Yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah, I
with that.
disagree.
Yeah.
Because that goes back to phase, that goes to everything. Like, the frequency response of a mic is inherent to its placement as well.
Okay, well, let's mock this scenario, right?
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
got a snare drum.
Yeah.
And you've got like the 57, which
Yep.
everyone.
Yeah.
Or you've got a M49, right?
Yep.
One is going to sound better than the other one, probably.
Yeah.
But the 57 is here,
Yeah.
and the M49's on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Which one's going to sound better? The 57.
If you're trying to get a close mic
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah, if I wanna-
57. Yeah, like the placement matters. Like the placement matters, absolutely. I would like. I don't even think you need to go that extreme. You've got someone with an MD421 that says they hate MD421s on toms,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you look at their setup,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
this.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah,
Like, and it's
100%.
like, dude, point it down.
100%,
Point it
dude.
down. It'll sound good.
Yeah.
It'll work.
Yeah.
Like mic placement is everything.
You can fix so many things
Yeah.
with good mic placement.
Yeah, heaps
You
of
know,
it.
like sibilance, like with a
Yeah,
vocal,
yeah.
turning it. Like
yeah. Yeah.
bro.
That's wrong.
This is hurting.
Choice.
That's probably 3. Okay, look,
Hell yeah.
if you don't have great
Such a
mics,
video.
use what you can. But mic choice is the number 1 thing. Mic placement is the number 2 thing. So it's about 70-30, okay?
Nah.
I can't. I
flip that.
don't understand
I
the
would flip
logic.
that.
Like,
Yeah, I'd flip
is
that.
he talking about recording Beyonce in the perfect room and going between a C12?
But also, once again, not a tracking
yeah,
engineer.
I know.
Mix engineer.
I know. That's
Mix engineer. So, like, obviously he's tracked records.
Yeah.
But
like,
I would disagree.
Okay, so he's being sent, like Kendrick Lamar through
Yeah.
a SM7B and a C12 at the same time, and he's like, "Oh, I prefer the C12."
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Better mic, 30%, so it's a 3.
Every drum recording session needs to have at least one room channel mic.
Every drum session needs to have a stereo room track. So a mono room mic does not help me. If you think you're being cool by having a mono room mic, then you're f***ing me, because it's pointless. I need a stereo room mic because that's the picture. So, yeah, 1 room mic.
What? Yeah, dude. What? That's what came up on my this section.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was like, if you give me mono room mic, you're fucking me.
What do you mean, bro?
Dude. And like, what context are we talking
Some
about?
of the best recordings I've heard
mono.
are like, well, just mono, number
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Fuck, he hates all the Beatles records. does he? You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
Sorry,
Like, what are you
keep
talking about?
going. Like the best
But, like,
recordings.
Like one of my favorite all-time drum sounds is Red Hot Chili Peppers' "Blood Sugar Sex Magic."
Okay,
Right?
yep,
Suck
yep.
My Kiss. Listen to that record.
Yep.
It's either 87s or 67s overheads, and then a mono as well.
Yep.
Sounds fucking unbelievable. There's lots of mono. There's lots of stereo. There's lots of shit going.
I've just googled famous drum recordings mono room mic.
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin, when the levee breaks.
One of the most famous of all time. One of the most famous.
Arguably the most popular drum sound
fucking him.
ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Okay, another Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, they're no good. No one likes the Beatles.
Yeah.
I don't know who these.
Yeah, all that era.
Like
But even
Glyn
modern
Johns.
stuff. Like there's so much modern production.
there is.
That where people, if you're going for indie,
Yes.
mono.
But it's also
Mono's the easiest
it's
way.
a cool creative choice, right?
Fuck yeah.
Like maybe you got a verse with a mono drum drum room,
and then it expands out in the chorus or something.
maybe it does that.
Fuck
or
yeah.
maybe you want to have all
Nah,
your
you're fucking him though.
dude.
fucking-
Maybe you want to have all your your low end information in the middle.
Yeah.
Because that's the style. That's the style that you do it.
Yeah.
It's just it's so wild for him to be like.
Yeah,
You're
and also
fucking me.
to have a stereo and a mono is beneficial. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, dude.
What are you talking about?
It is hectic.
Like, you don't have to use it.
Oh,
but
man.
fucking,
Let's keep going.
like,
Hang on. I want to listen to let's go back a little bit.
So much.
Drum session needs to have a stereo room track. So a mono room mic does not help me. If you think you're being cool by having a mono room mic, then you're f***ing me because it's pointless. I need a stereo room mic because that's the picture. So yeah, one room mic, I'd give him a 0 on that. A stereo room, he gets a 10.
Like,
Too extreme.
What wasn't recorded right.
fuck. Now I'm just getting annoyed.
Are we going to
now.
do just one more, maybe?
Yeah. Wait, so
Yeah.
you can't mix with what wasn't recorded right. I mean, that's a pretty straightforward. What about here? Analog summing doesn't matter anymore. Oh yeah, I think
I'd
he's
agree
probably
with that.
right there.
If the mix sounds good on AirPods, it sounds good. Oh, go.
All right, okay.
Go.
All right, cool.
If the mix sounds good on AirPods, it sounds good on anything.
Nope.
Nah,
Look, if
incorrect.
AirPods are all you know, that's one thing. But no, that is not a good answer.
Yeah.
It's-
First one I've agreed with.
Yeah, the first time. Fuck, what else has he got? He's got to have some other shit takes here. Here we go. What's this?
Throughout the mix,
I'll give him a 10 on that because
That's right, I'll agree with
Yeah,
that.
sure.
Softballs. Here we go. This will be a good one.
Oh yes, here we go. I love to see his opinion. It's gonna be horrible.
Give me your opinion.
adding multiple microphones to one electric guitar amp.
I mean, that's so subjective. I give it a 5 because, look, go out there and get the guitar sound, and then, adding the extra mics can help. But usually, the more mics you add,
He's making
the more
some sense.
phase you're getting problems with.
Yeah.
I'm a one mic.
I'll give it. I'll give that.
So he got real high before the video, and he's just said some wild shit at the start. Now he's coming
Yeah,
down, coming back to earth.
Yeah, or the editor kept all the juicy
yeah.
shit first,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
Look, I
fuck.
fully agree with the mic thing on
Yeah.
guitar cabs. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's true for anything. The more mics you add, the more phase,
Yep.
incoherencies, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, fucking, there's some hot takes.
Dude, I pity the person at home going on YouTube and going like, he's still LA. No mono room mics ever. Oh,
Yeah. So I'm
And
going to
then
put all my mono room mics.
looks back at his mono room mic, throws it in the bin. I was mixing before you came with a mono room mic. Like
Yeah.
in my session, I like
Dude.
it. I always get a mono room mic and then obviously a pair, obviously
Yeah.
multiple pairs. But
Yeah.
if I was doing drum recording, I would choose a stereo setup before a mono.
Yeah.
But I would go stereo, then I would add a mono. Then if I've got more room, I would add another stereo pair.
Yeah.
So I've got the stereo and the mono.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I have the option.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I won't fuck myself.
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
It's pretty hot
Yeah,
take.
yeah. Let's just quickly touch on referencing.
Yeah.
So referencing. I think that's one thing that they don't teach much in education.
No,
Is-
not
I-
enough.
no, I
or
didn't-
not using the right references.
Yes,
Like, what
or,
are the references?
Or how to reference.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
Ironically, man, I only got taught how to reference a few years ago, and it really improved my mixing, like overnight.
Yeah.
And realizing how I was doing it wrong. Was a big part of it. Like I was referencing, I would listen to someone else's mix and then I'd listen to my mix and go, okay, cool. Their kick drums like this or their guitars like that. Mine's not like that. I need to get it more like that. I think that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's how
You
you
shouldn't
should
be
reference.
carbon copying anyone else's mix.
No. I try and encourage people to use it just more for general vibe.
Yeah.
The how does your
How
reference?
wide is it? How narrow is it? What's the
how much
energy like?
energy? Yeah.
Yeah,
How much? How does it make
energy.
you feel? Like,
Yeah.
is it bopping? Yeah. And your mix isn't? Why not?
Yeah.
You know.
Hell
like,
yeah.
Yeah. So I think
big on that.
Yeah.
Big on that.
So him saying no referencing, I think especially like for people who are learning is wild as fuck.
And that's why you got to be careful who you pick as a teacher.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
Yeah.
With your reference tracks, do you only have a couple?
I have a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show you my referencing
I
folder.
have you and Darcy in there.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'll show.
Because you guys are,
That makes sense.
in the scene, and
Yep.
like I'm pretty sure I've spoken to you about this. Your mixes tend to have a more mid-forward approach.
Yep.
They're very tight. Darcy is almost once again an opposite kind of thing. His mixes are a bit more scooped in the mids.
Yep.
So you have two different similar genres of heavy music and alternative music. In some cases, but two different approaches.
Cool.
And I like it. And also, like, you get mastered by Josh,
Yep.
and he gets mastered by different people overseas.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, there's cool
Yeah.
things to hear there that are done differently.
Interesting,
So for lots of reasons. So, and like, so I like having those there because it keeps me focused on different things if I need them as a reference as well.
This is my reference folder.
Yeah, I've got to grow mine. That's
So
hectic.
yeah, it's getting out of control. But so my approach with this, right, is every time I have a favorite song, I add it to the reference mix. So like some of this stuff,
nice.
I'm not looking to make my mixes sound like this.
Yeah.
I know exactly what that mix sounds like everywhere because I've listened to it so many times.
Well, that's the important thing too, right?
That's the biggest one, dude.
Yeah.
Is people go like, oh, I'm just going to grab this and use this as a reference. Like, how well do you know that song? How does that song translate in your car, in your earbuds?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll just throw songs in here that I've gotten really familiar with. This is a combination of songs I'm really close with, stuff that clients bring to me and say like, hey, we want to sound like this. I'm okay, cool. I'll listen to it. I'll make sure I've got it there so I can spectrum analyze that. I can see what's going on with it. And then the third ones are mixes that I aspire to hopefully get to at one point.
Mad.
So that's my general approach. I use Metric AB. You use Metric AB?
No.
How do you reference?
I just have them on I have a reference folder in Cubase.
Okay, cool.
And I just solo up.
Let's just quickly talk about Metric AB.
AB's, yeah.
I love this plugin, dude. This one changed heaps of things for me, and I always recommend it to people. It's 99 USD, but it's 140, but it goes on sale for like $50 all the time.
Yeah.
I really like this because it does playback, which is just obviously cutting between your track and the reference track, and it matches levels for you.
So you don't trick yourself.
Yes,
that's
dude.
cool.
So that's a massive one, isn't it?
All of my, what I do in my reference folder, like in Cubase, I have a track, all my reference tracks are set in my template.
Yep.
In a folder. And they're all gain matched.
Yeah, right.
I've already
Okay.
gain matched
Right.
them and
And
stuff.
then
so-
when you're listening to
but-
your mix, you just try and get them as close as possible.
I'll be listening without volume reference, like just for things early on. But once I get to like final mix master stuff, then I'm going, am I matching LUFs and all that sort of stuff? And you can do that obviously easy on the master bus. So for those that don't know, when we use Cubase, it has an LUFs meter and all that sort of stuff. So I don't find it like. This is really cool because it does a bunch of other things as well, which could be cool.
Actually, so let me
yeah.
tell you about other things it does. It does spectrum analysis.
Analysis, yeah.
It does stereo width. It shows you not only how wide, but where, what frequencies are wide compared to your reference mix.
Yeah.
Correlation, I think that's like a comparison between your mix and the frequency spectrum of the reference.
So I should clarify as well, I put a analyzer that has all that stuff on every reference as well. So I'm essentially doing the same thing.
Just you're a
different way. Yeah.
So this one, I like that it has the match, like the volume match button. I don't know if
That is very cool.
it's really handy.
makes it very
because you can just
easy.
trick yourself so easily with that shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know why I got onto this. Maybe I was just talking about like ways to reference.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I was talking about my reference folder. So so a lot of this stuff is just stuff I know really well, so I can just quickly flick it on, and I don't like to listen to very long. I'm like 5 seconds of the reference.
Yes.
Back again. You know, I don't want to let it influence me. I don't want to set into a pattern of like, oh, I need my kick to feel like that.
Yep.
I just want to go like, is the vibe there? No, it's not. Cool. I need to keep working, or whatever it might be.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's totally fair.
Fucking CLA, no referencing, man.
Oh,
Holy
dude,
hell.
it's cooked.
Holy
It's
hell.
cooked. What are some other myths and misconceptions, maybe?
Okay. Well, I had an argument with a guy on Reddit the other day.
This is going to be red hot.
Yeah. No, well, it wasn't that much. It basically, he said, so it was about it might have been on Instagram, in the comments, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So this guy was talking like about like UAD hardware, like UA hardware versus say like I think it was like an RME, like he AB'd the conversion.
Yeah.
And
I saw this.
you saw it?
I saw this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So he shat all over the UA, which as he should,
Yep.
because they like fucking sound like dog shit next to an interface of the same money, not quality, but money. Like, anyway, so one of the guys in the comments was just like, none of this even matters. We're all listening on iPhones.
Back to that agree.
I was just like, this is fucking stupid. Like, and then his sign off thing was like, you don't need 50K of outboard to like make a good song.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, of course you don't.
Yeah.
Like, no one said that you do.
Yeah. So the argument, we actually did chat about this when we were hanging out on the weekend. And then the argument for the guy on Reddit that did the post is obviously that this is all cumulative.
Yes.
So do converters matter? If you're doing one mono track, maybe not. Maybe you can't hear it.
Yeah.
But if you've got hundreds of tracks, then it's cumulative.
Yes,
what those converters are doing.
Yeah.
And then it can add up. And especially we rip on UAD the most because of its converters and preamp quality.
Yeah.
It's not good. Like there are issues, and I haven't heard a more recent UAD interface, but we know that back in the day, Tom did some tests and it sounded thinner. Like you could audibly thinner. Like you could hear it. It was a thing.
Yeah. Brittle, thin.
Yeah. And that can be a thing with cheap interfaces. The cumulative effect of that, tracking through it and then mixing through it, or going out to outboard gear back in. You might find that there are issues.
I guess like the larger overarching argument there is like, do you need expensive gear to make good songs? Of course not. Of course not.
No.
Does it make it easier and more fun? Fucking oath.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to talk about that because that's fucking such a boring conversation.
Do you want to know one of my big myths that I came up against during study?
Yeah.
The need for ribbon mics. We only had a couple of active ribbons.
Oh, okay.
And
they had no education about ribbons.
Yeah, I think in education in particular, the beauty and the amazing job that a ribbon can do in different applications is not done, is not talked about.
Sure.
And what is taught often, and I know this from multiple forms of study, is that some teachers will just go, oh, you don't need them because we've got condenser mics. And
what?
Because the condenser mics can pick up all the frequencies. So why
maybe you don't want to.
Exactly.
Where's the fucking logic in that? That's dumb.
It's a completely dumb argument. I've heard all kinds of reasons not to use ribbons. Also, that ribbons are fragile. I've got heaps of myths and misconceptions about ribbons.
Right.
And the big one is that you can't send fender power to a ribbon.
Oh, is that a myth?
It is slightly a myth.
Tell me.
Okay, so how it works.
Yeah.
If you turn phantom power on,
Yes.
right, and you have a ribbon plugged in, it doesn't mean it will blow it up. If your patch bay is balanced fine and whatever, depending on the ribbon, whatever, the 48 volt phantom power won't go anywhere. It's just going to ground.
Okay.
Right? So it's not getting to the ribbon.
Right.
Where it becomes a problem is as you pull a cable out of a patch bay, the contacts go past the earth pin.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, as you pull that across, the tip and the ring and that cross where the phantom power is coming through, pick it up, and then it goes into the ribbon and then can explode.
Right.
Or if you have a bad cable or a bad patch bay, an unbalanced patch bay or something like that, or just a patch bay with problems, then you can be accidentally sending current to the ribbon motor.
Okay.
But it actually, it depends. But it is not 100% that if you turn phantom power on, that it will just immediately disintegrate your ribbon.
What does the phantom power? What does the phantom power hurt on a ribbon? Is it the ribbon or the motor?
No. It would if there's an issue with the cable, it'll send that 48 volt to the ribbon in the ribbon motor, and then it will charge it, and then it'll start going.
So I don't know enough about that. What's wrong with that? Like,
because it's a piece of metal, it's going to start freaking out.
Oh, really?
And going nuts
like
because you're sending a current.
Physically moving.
Yeah, because you're sending a current to it explode.
I've been recording.
But that's not true.
Yeah, I've been recording music for like a bit over 20 years. I've owned ribbons for about 10 of those years. I've never blown one up.
Yeah, and they're not as fragile as people think.
I put them in front of kick drums.
Yeah.
In front
depending
of bass.
on the one.
Yeah. Bass cab.
Yeah.
I've put phantom power through them. I've turned phantom power on the preamp and plugged it into a ribbon, like just what you said not to do.
Yeah.
I've never blown a ribbon up.
I had a teacher once. I had a session that I was away for, but I'd set up students to to do a drum recording.
Yeah.
And they'd already picked prior the week before what mics they were going to use. So there was a list, and I'd sent it through to the teacher that was covering my class. And he told the kids that they couldn't use a ribbon as a drum mic because it would explode the ribbon.
Again,
and
just-
it was a room mic.
Oh.
It wasn't even really close to anything.
Oh man, just such a dinosaur way of thinking.
So
hey?
yeah, there's funny things, and I think that there are teachers that are scared to use them because they're miseducated,
Yep.
or whatever, or just haven't used them.
That's
And then
crazy.
now we're getting into decades of that.
Yeah.
So there's heaps around ribbons. The fact that you don't need them is bullshit. The fact that they're fragile is bullshit. Depends on the ribbon and its SPL. There's lots of different things.
I'm just trying to think. I think if you said to me, you can either on this recording only have condensers or only ribbons,
I would go ribbons.
I think I would go ribbons.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters the genre. I don't
No.
think it matters. Like it would be hard to do a metal recording with
there
just
are certain
ribbons.
modern ribbons you could do it with. Though,
I'm sure there
for
are.
Sure,
I'm
yeah.
sure there are. But
Yeah.
I'm
would
just
go ribbons.
trying to think. I think I would prefer to try and make ribbons work than to try and make condensers work.
Yeah.
Because imagine the bright and the over the top. Dude, that's
Yeah.
like saying why would you want a Polaroid because a digital camera captures more in the image. That's
Yeah.
of course it's correct.
Yeah.
But that's such a fucking stupid argument.
Yeah.
That's
You don't
too
want
di-
everything.
No, it's
No.
a different thing. That's the whole point. We like Polaroids because it looks dirty and fucked.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a crazy one. But
getting
yeah, there's
angry.
heaps of those.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
The other one for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
Toms.
Yeah.
I've recently gotten into large diaphragm condensers on Toms.
Yep,
And
yep.
like everything when I studied
Yep.
multiple times was dynamics close mics.
Yes.
Better rejection.
Okay. Yeah. Dude. Right. So I
do
went
it.
down the Toms on the like LDCs on Toms recently.
Yeah.
Because the rejection's better. You know, you get like there's more clarity and because of the microphone choice. Thanks CLA. So I tried the 414s on Toms. Really liked it. I have zero problem with LDCs on Toms.
Yeah.
Declan, a friend of mine, Declan, is a producer from Melbourne. He put me on to LDC under snare.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's
I've done
dope.
that.
That's sick too.
I've done that.
'Cause you get
I've
this,
done
like-
that for a while.
Yeah, you get this really large and bright picture. Have you ever seen stereo understand miking?
No, we've talked about
We've
it.
talked about it.
it.
Yeah, I don't fucking understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it
No,
condenses-
you've got to do stereo under snare, otherwise
Oh,
you're fucking me.
Oh fuck. Holy shit. Holy shit, dude. That's gonna live in my brain
memes.
forever.
Yeah, it can stay there too.
Oh,
It's like
dude.
addictive.
CLA's face, single drum mic, don't fuck me.
It's him. He's bending over. There's a mic there. Don't fuck me.
Don't fuck me.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Who'd buy that shirt? Comment below.
tell me.
Comment.
Yeah.
Comment, you dogs.
Yeah, place an order. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
tell us how bad you want that shirt. We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
We will.
Okay, so you want to
Yeah.
go more like super literal.
Oh, look, I was just throwing in some things, but that was the Tom one was a big one for me. Just being taught that and not taught anything else.
Yeah.
And so you have people think that you have to use dynamics on close miking duties. And the beauty is now
Very
we live in a
true.
world where there's a bunch of different large diaphragm condensers. Like you're not going to go put a vintage U67 or U87 if the SPL doesn't match a drum, right?
Yeah.
What you've got to remember is that mics nowadays can take way higher SPLs,
Yeah.
way higher SPLs.
yeah.
Like those warm audio mics we had in ages ago, the 47 and 87, they can do like 145 SPL.
Which you're never going to
You're never even going to hit that.
Yeah.
Like that's craziness.
Yeah.
So like a tom or a snare is fine. So I started using one of the WA 47s on floor.
Yep.
And I did these mics from a company called Studio Projects, and they have
I know,
like a
I know
mod.
SP, yep.
Yeah.
No.
And it was the C1, and I modded those with a Neumann mod from Mic Parts.
Cool.
And like they're cool.
Yeah.
Fucking rat on toms, like so good.
Yeah.
It's like an 87 style, but it's the mod gives you more bottom end than a traditional
Right.
87.
Okay, yeah.
And a flatter top end.
Yeah.
And it's basically perfect for your high toms,
Yep.
and then the 47 is great for the low toms.
Right.
And
So
it's excellent.
I
Yeah.
guess what we're saying, like in this, is
Yeah.
that like when it comes to miking, there are no rules.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, and
Hell
you should really
try.
Yeah.
Experiment.
That's a problem with education. Hey, it's
Yeah.
like they
Try
don't
shit.
sit you down and go, okay, here's every mic we have. Let's put every single one on a tom and see which one we like.
Yeah.
and or
Or
for
do
what.
different setups.
Yeah.
So in my classes I did.
Yeah.
Well, like I would literally bring in my own staff to go, let's try this mic or that mic and try things you haven't heard before.
I want to do a drum recording course where we have a bunch of people and we solve everyone's individual problems. Okay, so John wants to record indie rock. Mono room mics for you, John. And then this is how we set them up. This is how we do it. Fucking Jimmy wants to do high impact metal recordings. Yeah. Heaps of stereo pairs. You know what I mean? Like, and just go through like, okay, this is the genre I'm working in. This is what I want to achieve. These are ways to do it.
Yep.
As opposed to, like, I guess reverse engineering the problem, right? Like, we want our drums wider. Okay, fucking play some wide mics up or whatever that might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So yeah. Another one. I had a vocalist, and I threw up an SM7B and assumed this is like you would bet an SM7B would always work, right? Like to an extent
for a certain genre or just in general.
Anyone. Like if we're talking about the spectrum of microphones available to you, on a voice, an SM7 is a pretty safe choice, right? It was horrible, man. Wow. It sounded so fucking bad.
What was bad about it, just out of interest?
Thin.
Yeah, okay. Wow.
But he had a very kind of thin, like upper, like throat, like not very chesty voice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the SM7 was so bad that I was like, I can't do this. This is fucking horrible. I ended up using the R88 on his voice.
Whoa.
And dude, it was amazing because like big long ribbon.
Yep.
And I kind of positioned it in a way that it was capturing the high end of his voice, but the chest, which is not something you really ever want in a vocal recording. Is chest,
not normally. Yeah.
Unless you've got someone who's crazy.
But you use your ears. Right?
That's it.
On the session, you're like, this isn't working. I'm not going to push through on this.
I picked up the R88 and I'm like, let's just see, you know? And it was the one. It was amazing.
And also, like, logically, you're going, what does this need? Well, it needs more bottom end. It needs, like, more fullness.
Yep.
A ribbon.
Yeah.
You know, and, let's also be clear on this. Ribbons have been and still are used on vocals. All the fucking time.
Yeah,
the R44
is
basically the R88 in mono form.
Yep.
For vocals.
I think
that's what it was made for.
One of my favorite vocal tones is Lana Del Rey's vocal sound.
Yeah.
I don't know what she used. I have a feeling it's that big AEA. The
R44 type
R44?
one. The trapezoidal weird.
Yeah. Hang on. So Lana Del Rey vocal mic. I have a feeling that it's something like that because it's so thick, it's so smooth. SM7, do not believe that.
Yeah.
Wonder CM7, that makes sense. A U47 tube.
Yeah, because they're darker.
That makes sense.
More mid-focus.
So for Norman fucking Rockwell, they did a Wonder CM7. All right. That's cool.
Be so careful with the fucking AI shit, eh?
Oh, dude. And like you said, these answers are from Reddit.
Yeah.
Who the fuck, who's policing Reddit?
Yeah.
No one. That's who. CL1B. I want a CL1B, dude.
I do too.
Yeah.
It's the one we don't have.
It is the one, yep. What else? No,
Can you wait 2 years?
Is that how long it takes?
Yeah, they're always on back order. Permanently on back order forever.
Yeah,
because they can't make them quick enough. It's like STEM.
Really?
For that one, yeah.
CL1B.
Yeah, they're always on back order.
7,000. How much?
Low price. No, go back. Low price. 7.6.
Fuck. Is that a stereo?
It's cheap, bro.
That's a CL. That's a CL2.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a stereo. You better take that back. That is really cheap.
That is cheap. I'll take that.
Yeah. You dickhead. Yeah, out of stock. All right. So you can get them.
Yeah. Fuck, I didn't even know
that was stereo. Yeah, right. I don't know what you'd want a stereo one of those for. Backing vocal?
Yeah, when you want to, you don't do. Do you do your vocals in mono, not stereo? You're fucking me.
Yeah.
You're fucking me,
You're fucking me. Fuck.
Stereo only.
Yeah. Why I sold my CL1B and don't miss it. I'd like to read about that. Anyway, so U47. I believe that. And it sounds super dark, so maybe they're placing it high.
Yeah. Could be a voice.
Hang on. Recording. Yeah, she could have a super, super dark. I think she works with Joel Antonoff.
Or Jack Antonoff?
Is that Jack Antonoff? Yeah.
The Taylor Swift guy?
Yeah. What's going on here? All right, what's this? That looks like a manly reference.
She did an album with Nine Inch Nails and that as well, right?
Yeah. Oh, no. Are you sure?
Her?
That's a 47 for sure. Looks like a 47 Fet. What's this? That looks like another 47. Right.
That's tubed, though, by that connector.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Radio interview.
Yeah, radio doesn't count.
Yeah, no. Right, yeah, another 47 condenser. Sorry, tube. Yeah, right. All right. Cool.
Hectic.
Oh man,
Sick. All right,
we should get off track. Just looking at
Hell yeah.
pictures of
Get off there. Get off there.
Yeah.
Someone's calling.
Yeah.
Stop calling.
Where are we
people.
up to? Where are we up to?
Question things. Hang on, wait a sec. So the high pass debate.
Oh man.
So touching on the high pass thing, because you brought this up. So, and CLA mentioned it.
Yeah.
High pass. When would you use a high pass?
I pretty much on everything.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Like varying types, varying degrees. Something that people don't know about is high pass filters affect the phase
Of course.
but people don't know that.
Yeah.
So
all EQ affects phase.
Yes.
But
Yeah, yep.
very more like it can be more obvious or more extreme in a filter.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think I high pass everything because the people that mixes I like, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not looking at them, oh, you doing that, I'll do that too. But
Yeah.
I mean, I listen to it and go, okay, cool. Well, everything's tight in the low end, so I need to tighten up my low end. And,
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. I get that.
yeah. What about you?
Yeah, everything. Like
Yeah.
it's that thing where like, for number one,
Yep.
we were talking about mics before, right? Like modern mics pick up all the frequencies.
Yeah.
Extreme lows.
Yes.
Like they're reaching down into 20 hertz range now. So
And they're going crazy high too.
and crazy high.
Yeah.
So you need to filter more than ever before.
We
And
don't
like,
need to.
Don't need to.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
yeah.
Your choices.
You might
Yeah,
need.
yeah,
Yeah, you
yes.
might feel like
Yes.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might choose to. Always. Yeah. Always 10. But yeah, so there's that. Also, once again, a lot of my filtering I'm trying to do is analog in tracking at the front end.
And that makes a difference. That sounds different.
Oh yeah, and
Sound-
because it's through analog, you're getting less phase.
Yes.
Because phase is a time relationship thing. It can also you can get phase issues because it is digital high pass filtering.
Yeah.
If you're doing it on tracking on the way in, you're going to have way less problems.
Yeah.
But also, I want to hit playback and it be as clean as possible
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
So I want to clean up any mud so I can move fast in a tracking session and like I don't want to have to go, all right, now I've got to do a mix on drums before I can track the bass guitarist.
Yeah.
I want to go, let's keep rolling.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah.
Let's get this session done.
Yep.
Bass time.
Yep.
And the drums have the space in them to then do your other layers.
Man,
and
just
whatever.
quickly, I'm
Yeah.
not a big fan of changing tracking instruments in a day. Like going from tracking drums to bass
Oh,
in the
dude,
same
I
day.
get it.
I don't
I get it.
don't like it.
Yeah, I get
I
it.
want to spend a day on drums.
Yeah.
You know, I want bass day. I want guitar day.
Dude, ideally, that is, you know,
Yeah.
especially if you're doing like a bigger production with a band, like an EP or a record.
Yep.
Obviously, you can do that. But if a band's just doing a one track or
Oh,
something,
yeah,
then,
of course.
then
Just
it's a
powering
rush
through.
and it's chaos. It's just
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah. So high pass all the time. Analog high pass if you've got it. I think like if you've got those filters on
Hell yeah.
things, it's
Yeah.
so
I
useful.
bought the SSLs for the filters.
Best filter ever made.
Yeah, the
Hands down.
the 18 dB.
Yeah,
just
and I find it funny that motherfucker sits in front of an SSL board,
Yeah.
and is like, "Nah, don't use the filters."
Yeah.
And it's like that's the best part of that console. And if people don't know this,
Yeah.
it's an 18 dB curve on the bottom and a 12 dB curve on the top.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
It's 12 on top.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And they're just
Yeah.
a good filter.
Cool.
They're just excellent.
They sound so good.
They sound so good. Yeah. I've got a couple. I've got one pre, and I've got the second one. I've still got to build from Link Audio.
Yep.
And the reason I bought those SSL pre's wasn't for the SSL pre.
Yep.
It was for the filters that they come with.
Fuck yeah, dude.
They have the SSL filters on them.
Yep.
And I literally look at it all the time. Like I need to build that other one, so I have
Yeah.
a pair of filters
Fuck yeah, dude.
because they're so good.
They're so good,
They're
yeah.
excellent.
Yeah.
Nothing beats them. Yeah.
Just quietly, if you're at home and you've never heard what we're talking about with phase with filters, a cool trick is okay. So you do say you do an 18 dB high pass at 100 hertz. Listen to what that does to the sound. Then take a low shelf at 100 hertz with an 18 dB curve and drop it like 20 dB, which is going to effectively have the same result. Sounds very different.
Yeah.
So you'll hear
Yeah.
the phase relationships. You'll hear what it does to everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah.
Man.
Hectic.
Where are
cool.
we at? Where are
We
we
had
at
one
here?
more.
Yeah, cool.
You wish you got education 10 years ago. Did we touch on that?
Oh, no. Okay, cool. So
That's the last one.
That's a big one. Yeah. So I like everyone, you know, I did a bit of stuff at school. I bought some of my own shit and just started recording myself and just, you know, did it all the time. And this was back when Sound on Sound were printing magazines.
Oh, I love those days, dude.
Audio technology magazines.
Yeah.
I've got a stack of them at home.
Hell yeah.
I'd love to give them someone. If someone wants a pile
I'll take 'em.
Or do you want them?
No, I'll take them.
Done. Because I want to give them to someone. Like
Secret hoarder.
Yeah,
No,
bro. They
I want to keep. I would
they're
keep them,
important. Yeah. They're, like to me,
Yeah.
that like I got so much education from that because in the back end of them, remember they had like techniques and stuff. It was
Yeah.
like or interviews with people, and it was like, hey, this is how I get my vocal sound. And
Hell yeah.
Anyway, so like anyone,
This is pre-internet.
pre-internet.
You're like,
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's not really
Well,
pre-internet. It's early internet.
Early internet.
Yeah, early
But
internet.
YouTube wasn't as big.
Yeah,
And,
there was YouTube nearly didn't exist.
well, that didn't come until 2008.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So it didn't exist.
Yeah, not really, yeah.
All right.
It's crazy, yeah.
Reverb wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
eBay was it.
Yeah.
You know, like the means, the avenues to educate yourself and also to get gear were extremely limited compared to now.
Yep.
But I would just obsess over gear all the time. Gear. Like,
Nothing's changed.
Yeah, nothing has changed at all. But anyway, so I'd buy these magazines.
Snare still sucks.
Oh, dude. Still fucking me. But
Dude, that one's fucking
wild, eh? You're fucking me.
That's my new favorite.
Yeah,
My new favorite.
I'm gonna start using that in my day-to-day vocabulary.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What about the guy from Sons and Lambs? You want to fuck me? He's a mic. Yeah. He's a mono mic. He's like, you want to fuck me?
fuck it up, dude. Man,
So many good memes.
I just want CLA to see this so badly, please. Anyway, but anyway, so I would obsess over gear, and I would look to see who's using what and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
What I should have been doing is spending money on not necessarily formal education like university and TAFE, because we've talked about why that doesn't work for us personally and why we're not fans.
Yeah.
What I should have been doing is buying those online courses.
Yes.
Going to Mix with the Masters or
Yeah.
URM or
Yeah.
I started doing those things maybe 10 years ago, and that's when I started to notice the biggest lift in my work.
Yeah.
Is because it was like I was directly subconsciously referencing to what other people are doing all the time.
Yep.
I was constantly comparing my work to theirs.
Yep.
And then also just seeing the way that people do things,
Yeah,
you can get taught by the dinosaur who's still obsessed with crossovers.
Yeah.
Or you can go online and you can see the person that you like the exact mix engineer, how they work.
And that's an amazing thing.
Isn't that
of
incredible?
This generation, the fact that you can pick your favorite producer, engineer, whatever, and learn from them.
Almost all of them.
Yeah,
There's
the majority of them are out
there's
there.
ones that don't do that, but there's always going to be people
And plenty
who-
of great ones.
Fuck yeah, dude!
Yeah,
And there's going to be
it's
people
so
who
good.
have some value, something to show you on YouTube. Like, man, I could scroll for 30 seconds and I'll learn something on YouTube.
Hell yeah.
Even after being in audio for 20 plus years.
Dude, I've literally learned to build the studio I'm building right now because of YouTube. Like, it's fucking awesome.
100%, man.
Like-
Even me and Joel, when we were building this place, I was like, Joel wasn't here a day. I was like, how the fuck do I do a right angle joist or a corner? I don't even think that's a real thing. But I just go on YouTube and be like, how the fuck do I do this? And I fucking learned it. Like it is.
It's so cool.
So I wish someone sat me down and go, stop it with the gear. Stop getting excited over the microphones. Learn, go and watch someone educate yourself. So I wish, it was also a bit of stubbornness too. Like,
Of course.
I don't want to
Especially,
listen. When I was younger,
yeah.
it's like I don't want to fucking listen to that.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, my ego's out. Show me. If you've got a better way of doing things, I want to hear it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So that was a big one for me, and I wish someone said that to me earlier, and I'm saying that to you now.
Yes.
Education is more important than
It doesn't, it's not where you get educated, it's how you educate yourself.
Yeah.
And do your research. Like, make sure, you're going to if you do go to a school, coming from someone who teaches, and I've taught in many facets of the industry. I've worked for public schooling and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If you are going to go formal education, do your research on the place.
Right. Yeah.
Because that makes a difference.
Hell yeah,
too.
it does, yeah.
Who's teaching there?
Yeah.
What have they worked on?
Yes.
Take that same mentality anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Have they done any records in the last couple of years that you're interested in? Have they worked on anything you're interested in?
Yeah.
Because in Australia, like if you're a hip hop guy and you want to learn from the best hip hop artists, it's not here.
Nah, fuck
you
no,
know,
it's not.
there's some good hip hop producers in Australia.
Yeah.
No doubt. But the best ones are overseas.
Yeah, 100%.
So like, you just know what you're doing. Like, figure it out, and it's all out there.
Yeah. Man, I just want to share something with you. I have a friend who I see regularly. Shout out Jack, my man. He came up to me the other day. He was like, "You cunts are going to make me spend money." And I was like, what? And he's like, bro, the other day, like I said, he's a musician. I've recorded for his bands in the past and stuff.
Yeah.
But he, at home, I think he was setting up, he wanted a way, I think, forgive me, Jack, if this is wrong, but to split his guitar and essentially record his guitar through his desk. And he put his monitoring through his desk, and he was just like, I put audio through the desk and it fucking sounds better. I'm like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like this is what me and Mitch are fucking yelling at people all the time. And he was like, oh, fancy that. Like physical components, like
Doing the
audio
thing.
passing through physical components does a thing, and it's inexplicable, and fuck, now I have to spend money on shit. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, sorry, man. Like, it's what it is.
Dude, I'll add to that. There was a podcast where they were talking about just one of the audio podcasts that I listened to, talking about compressors. They were doing like a quiz, and then a thing come up about like Nile Rodgers and his signal chain. And I've literally seen an interview where he gives this answer, and then they were even unsure on it, which was funny. And I was talking about the compressor signal he uses, and they're like, oh, it's this and this. And I was like, that's not the secret to his tone. Beyond him being an amazing guitarist, you know who I'm talking about, Nile Rodgers?
Not
The guy-
really.
So you know the Pharrell Daft Punk track, Get Lucky?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The guy with the braids and that?
No,
That's
but
Nile Rodgers.
I know
he's
he's
in that
playing.
clip.
I know he's playing. Yeah.
So that's Nile Rodgers. He's in the band Chic.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So that's Nile Rodgers.
Yep.
Famous songwriter, producer, guitar player.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
him.
Yeah, cool,
you know
cool.
him. Anyway, the real secret to his tone is straight, clean into a Neve. Neve, DI, clean guitar.
I'll back that up because Corey Wong is the same.
It is unbelievable. When I built my first Neve, I did the same thing, and I was like, oh, this is the Chic guitar tone. And I was like, this is funk guitar.
Yeah. Do you know Corey Wong?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's a very,
I
very...
saw you had a reference track of his, actually.
Love his shit. A very famous, like funk.
Yeah.
And his
Neve.
notorious is straight DI, straight in.
Yeah.
And that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
You know,
because the Neve gives it this right saturation, tames the transient in a way another DI just doesn't, any other DI doesn't.
Yeah.
It's fucking unreal.
Heaps interesting.
And it's one of those things. But these dudes were all like, one of the guys had worked with fucking, did I say Neil Rodgers? Nile Rodgers.
Nile,
Yeah. Good. Anyway. Anyway, that was kind of the point. So be careful of where you get your education from.
Yes.
And take everything that's said with a grain of salt.
Fucking oath.
Except us, because we're always right.
10. Yeah, 10. That's a good one. That's a good space to stop. Fucking oath. 10. See ya.
Are you trying to fuck me?